All right, well, Laina, this is the first time I've had anybody do this on iPhone, and this is the first time I've done it from my house. So this is a historic Eagle rewind. So first of all, let's tell people where you're at right now and what you're doing.
Yes, I'm in the beautiful New Zealand, and I am playing in the Tui Basketball League over here.
And this is a continuation of your long professional career since leaving AU, and we'll get back to that. But let's circle back
Mhm.
to the pre-AU days and coming out of West Holmes. What was your process in becoming an Eagle?
I always love to tell the story. I was getting recruited by schools around Ohio, and the one thing that stood out to me is Sue Ramsey showed up to my track meet in a full decked out purple AU gear, and she was just going crazy for me on the sidelines. And it was just that joy and that energy that I wanted to be part of. And that was one of the big selling points of finding myself at AU. And just having such a successful program be right next door was something I am so grateful for.
I was going to say this was kind of the start of the success and the run that AUWBB has had. So I'm sure being close by, that was probably something that really kind of cemented it for you, right?
Yeah, just watching Coach Pickens now, just watching her and seeing that historic run going on um, was quite influential as well. Just knowing that I could have such a successful and like top tier program right next door was, yeah, not many people have that opportunity, but we got to have it with Ashland.
And I remember that your freshman year was my first year, so we were all kind of just
No,
learning our roles together there, as
started
it turned
together.
out. But that first
Hmm.
year, I think you won 25 games, got to the Sweet 16, really when no one really expected it up in the Upper Peninsula. So what was that like having success so quickly?
Yeah, actually, we didn't start out that successful. I think we were 2-4 to start the season, and
Yep.
I remember that because Coach Ramsey came in with our schedule and she cut it off like she took scissors and cut off and she said, "That's in the past. We're restarting." And from that point on, yeah, we had a much different season. I think they knew our potential. We just hadn't reached it yet. And then as soon as we kind of got on page with where the coaches knew that we could be, we found that success. And yeah, we had a really fun run in that tournament up there. And Michigan Tech was that top dog that year, and just to be able to take them down and see the potential for the coming years, I think it really set the tone for my collegiate career.
And you mentioned it, then sophomore year, Robin Fralick becomes the head coach. You end up winning 31 games. We won't mention how that season ended, but
Yeah.
that was the jumping off point for what happened junior and senior year. So what was it like for
Mhm.
you and your teammates to be a part of the best run of consecutive wins in the history of D2 basketball?
Yeah, that was a pretty special time. I think it was just after our sophomore year, we lost early, and we obviously didn't want that to happen again, but we knew that there were some changes that we need to make just collectively as a whole to come together and be on the same page. And um, I really admire the way that our team did that and our team came together. And, that's something that could break a team apart, but instead it brought us closer. And we were able to do the right things and do it the right way. And I think that's just something that I know that we were successful on the court, but off the court as well. I think we learned a lot that year, and is what helped us propel into the season. We had great leadership, we had great people, and we had a lot of talent, and we had a coach that put it all together. And that was just, yeah, it was some really cool times.
And to make it even more special, you go undefeated your junior year, win the national
Hmm.
championship an hour away in Columbus. They had to turn people away from the championship game. They couldn't fit everybody in. So you had quite a following and an undefeated season. It was almost the perfect storm that year, wasn't it?
It really was. To have the championship set in Columbus was you couldn't write something better than that. And yeah, like I've now played in games all over the world, and there's not many that could even come close to rivaling with that game. That was a pretty special game.
And it is worth noting, it said it was a winning streak, 73 games in a row, probably will never be duplicated. But if you don't hit the game winning shot at Cedarville the very next year to start
Yeah.
it off, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. That was wow. Yeah. You don't think about like the enormity of that shot in the time of it. You just want to win the game. And, that was just, yeah, it was a play that we had practiced before, and it was a tough shot, but it was a great pass from Renee Stimpert at the time, Renee Holt now. But yeah, something you practice and something that you prepare for when you're in that environment, that collegiate environment. Ashland, they prepare you for that pressure time, because yeah, they get you prepared and you're ready for it. And I didn't know it at the time how much weight that game would hold.
And I've had a lot of conversations with Carrie, with other various people. I want to get your thoughts on this. Obviously, losing the winning streak in the game that you did was not optimal. We've replayed
Yeah.
that game over and over again the last 7 years. But what was
Mhm.
it like for you to kind of just, you're this close to winning or another national championship, and just never could get it really going in that game, could you, team
Yeah,
wise?
that game, as I said, I've played many games since, and that game still sits with me. That it's yeah, that game still sits with me. But the positive that's come out of it is, I said I probably would have never had this career. I don't know if I would have had this career had it not been for that loss. Because after that loss, I thought there is no way I can end my basketball career like this. Just because there was such high hopes, and um, yeah, that I didn't want to see a sport that had brought me so much joy and with so much sadness. That was a really hard loss. So I would love to win that game. That would have been amazing to be back-to-back champs. But at the same time, I'm grateful that it led me here.
And you end your career as the all-time leading scorer in the program, all-time leader in rebounds, all-time leader in steals. So then that propels you to what you've done recently. So take us through all the places that you played since graduating from AU.
Yeah, so after AU, I actually worked in Ashland, just doing some marketing work in there, and I wasn't sure if I was going to play. I wanted to, but I wasn't sure. And I have Coach Pickens to thank for that, because she really was inspirational in doing that and getting me over. And so then I took a year off, but then I went to Australia. I started my career in Australia and thought I'd just play one season. And here we are 7 years later. But I did Australia, and then I went to Germany, and then I went to Greece, and then Luxembourg, and then New Zealand, back to Germany, back to New Zealand, and now we're here. Yeah, I think that's about it.
And
Oh,
and what you
Australia. I did Australia last
in
season.
Australia,
Yeah,
yes.
there
So
we go.
what you've done and played for the last 7, 8 years, and to have Sarah Loomis and Haley Smith and players like that follow you in that
Hmm.
international play, that's got to speak volumes to you as kind of the leader of that pack.
I actually just had a conversation with Coach Pickens a few days ago, and I was just like, thank you so much, because you inspired me. And then that has now, it's that trickle down effect. And um, it's not often that I meet people, especially from D2, that are still playing overseas. And so to see that lineage continue, and hopefully now Haley is inspiring that next generation to do it, is just something that, yeah, I feel so um, passionate about, because this has been such a great life and career for me. But I'm so glad that other Eagles are getting to enjoy it as well.
So how long do you plan on keep doing it? You said you thought you just do it for a year, and now you're up to what, 7 and 8? So how far can you go
Yeah.
with this?
Yeah, look, I'm going to keep doing it until I'm not enjoying it. I said mentally and physically are two different types of enjoyments. And sometimes I have, well, maybe not mentally I'm enjoying it, maybe not physically, but the two haven't met at the same time yet. So I'm still going. I kind of got rejuvenized this past season, just being being down on this side of the world, being at the um, yeah, but hoping to get back to Europe after having a little hiatus done.
Very cool. So
See
let's
where it goes from there.
so let's end this way. We always do this for the Eagle Rewinds. If you have someone in your travels that decides, hey, I want to come to Ashland University, whether it's to play basketball or just to come to school, what would your sales pitch be?
Hmm. I would say being at Ashland felt like being part of a family, whether it was on the basketball team or just everyone going to convo for dinner every night. That's something I've realized is not doesn't happen at all other schools. But Ashland really treats you like a family, from the professors to the staff to the other students. It's just a really fun family atmosphere that it's a great place to be. It's it's the middle of nowhere, Ohio, but it's the best place to be in Ohio when you're playing basketball, especially women's basketball.